Today we see a nation that's becoming increasingly fractured, divided, militant, and unstable. This is not an accident. This is a predictable and preventable consequence of a culture that's lost its way. It's no accident that we see militant feminists at the throat of men's rights activists at the same time that we see divorced and broken families pitting fathers and mothers against each other, at the same time that we see increasingly hate-filled rhetoric being thrown around between the left and the right, at the same time that we see violent social justice warriors versus increasingly militant nationalists. Snowflake, trumpeter, libtard, cuck, fascist, Nazi. These are all the labels we throw around to justify our own abysmal behavior towards other individuals. But we have to do this. We can see with our own eyes that disaster is headed our way, and those idiots over there, they threaten our very survival. We're worried about climate catastrophe, about terrorism, about migrants, about jobs, about crime, about riots, about oppression, about marginalization, about concentration camps. But more than anything, we're worried about them having power and accelerating us towards the disaster that we most fear. So we do what we trained to do. We do what we were conditioned by our culture to do. We cry out to government, to a leader, a strong leader who identifies with us to fix our problems. This is a predictable result of a big intrusive government. Government has one job: to use force, real physical violence, to implement its mandate. Government is a gun in the room that creates a zero-sum game. There's a winner and a loser. The more you allow that gun to be used to solve problems, the more that gun gets pointed at people, and the more those people that are staring down that barrel fear for their own survival and then struggle tooth and nail to control that gun. This is why people become radicalized and latch on to an ideology that is sympathetic to their survival. This is how people come to hate each other and to justify violence against one another. Now, in a healthy family, you have mothers nurturing the weak and the marginalized in the family. They encourage sharing among everyone. They ensure that the environment is clean and tidy. They become a fount of empathy if you're ever hurting. And in a healthy family, you have fathers who are vigilant about external threats, who are focused on gathering resources for the family, who enforce boundaries. That's where your mom starts and you stop, mister. Show some respect. It's no accident that these centers of focus map quite closely to liberals and conservatives in our society. Liberals are concerned about mom things and conservatives are concerned about dad things. And so when someone tells me they're conservative or liberal, they're telling me more about their family preferences than they're telling me about a political philosophy that they arrived at through first principles. In a healthy society, you have these two forces working together through mutual value, respect, admiration, even love. That doesn't describe the world we live in today, does it? As our childhood experiences and our family goes, so goes our government, our society. We're taught from a young age that government is there to solve all our problems. Now, this unrestrained demand that government look after our every need and quell our every fear has led us to where we are today. We're conditioned to react out of fear and demand more from the government. As a firefighter, I've been in situations where death was imminent. And I can tell you, the only thing that saved me was my ability in the moment to dig deep and control my fear, rather than let my fear control me. And my hope today is that you can dig deep, look for solutions that don't engineer your own destruction by reacting out of fear. We face a crisis that has largely emerged from our character as individuals. The real political spectrum is not left versus right or socialists versus fascists. The real paradigm is big government versus liberty. Liberty is difficult because it requires managing our fears, working on win-win solutions. It requires not letting fear control us, but rather facing our fears head on with courage and breaking through. I'm the leader of the Libertarian Party of Canada. We do not offer people a pill to manage their fears. Our goal is to limit government so that it only uses its guns to protect people and never to impose an agenda. The other parties will contribute to your decline by telling you all the things they will do for you, by appealing to all your wants and desires, promising to alleviate all your fears. I'm here to tell you all the things we won't do for you. This is scary because it requires you to rely on each other, to work with each other, to cooperate with each other, to love one another. It's not too late to stop struggling for the gun and start struggling to improve our own individual character. And in the process, maybe, just maybe, we save Western civilization. We've been fed a comforting delusion, and it's time to let it go before reality wrenches it from us and we're a footnote in history.